Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're getting personal and exploring what your coffee order might say about you.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. So we're looking at this article from Shift Fuel Coffee.
Okay.
It's called What Your Coffee Choice Says About Your Personality.
Hmm.
It came out just a couple of weeks ago on January 9th, 2025.
Okay.
And it's just a fun, kind of lighthearted look at, potential connections between our favorite coffee and who we are.
I like it. I'm intrigued.
Right. Like, I don't think we should take it super seriously.
Yeah, no.
But it's fun to think about, right?
Yeah.
So let's start with the classic, the OG black coffee.
Okay, the minimalist.
Exactly. The article calls black coffee drinkers minimalists. So straightforward, no nonsense. Does that ring true to you?
I mean, you think about it, black coffee, it's the essence of the coffee bean, right?
Yeah.
It's pure. There's no messing around with it.
No frills.
No frills. And I think that translates to other areas of life, too. I often see people who drink black coffee as practical, focused, very disciplined.
Yeah. It's like, just give it to me straight.
Exactly.
No sugarcoating.
Exactly.
I've even heard people call black coffee drinkers like the serious thinkers of the coffee world.
Right, right.
What do you think? Is there something to that?
I think, stereotypes always come from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
There is a certain intensity with black coffee, just like you said, straightforwardness.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can be perceived as serious, but it can also just be, they just have a deep appreciation for those complex flavors.
That's true.
They don't want to dilute the experience.
Right. Just get right down to it.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder if they approach problems the same way, right?
Yes.
Just cut to the chase.
Oh, well,
Find the solution. No drama.
absolutely.
Now, speaking of finding a solution, Shift Fuel, they actually recommend their bitter root French roast for black coffee lovers. They describe it as having like this bold flavor and robust character.
Ooh, yeah.
So let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum. The latte lovers.
Okay, yeah.
Creamy, foam, comforting, warm, like a little bit of an indulgence in the cup.
Absolutely.
This article, they describe latte lovers as seeking warmth and connection.
Mm-mm.
Do you see a link there?
Definitely. I mean, think about the experience of a latte.
Yeah.
It is smooth, it's comforting. I've even heard it described as nurturing,
Yeah.
And I think those qualities are often reflected in the personalities of those who drink it.
Yeah.
Latte drinkers tend to be empathetic, caring people.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones that kind of create a sense of warmth and connection around them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Naturally.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
They're like the warm hug of the coffee world.
I like that.
Right. So it makes you wonder, for them, is their coffee break more like self-care?
Oh, that's interesting.
Or is it about connecting with others?
Or both.
Maybe both, yeah.
I think it could be both. I mean, a latte can be that moment of peace in a busy day.
Right.
But it's also, I think, the drink of choice for those social gatherings.
Totally.
Catching up with a friend. There's something about a latte that's just inherently inviting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like slow down, savor the moment, and let's connect.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I want to talk about the cool kids of the coffee scene, the cold brew fans.
Okay, yeah.
The article calls them trendsetters, always kind of ahead of the curve. What do you think about that?
I think there's definitely a boldness there, right?
Yeah.
And an adaptability. It's a relatively new brewing method.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think to embrace it shows you're open to new experiences. You're willing to try something different.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if that translates to other areas of their life.
Oh, totally.
Like fashion, music, travel.
Yeah,
Are they also the ones kind of like pushing boundaries?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not afraid to stand out,
Yeah.
try something unconventional.
I like that. And actually, Shift Fuel, they even suggest like personalizing that boldness.
Oh, how? Oh.
They recommend adding a splash of vanilla or coconut milk. Like even within this trendy choice, there's still a sense of, I'm going to make it my own.
Right, right.
Okay, let's shift gears. Let's talk about the perfectionists of the coffee world. The cappuccino lovers.
Okay, yes.
Every detail matters to them.
Absolutely.
The perfect foam, the sprinkle of cocoa powder. What does that say about them?
Well, I mean, a cappuccino is truly a work of art, isn't it,
It is, it is.
in the coffee world?
Yeah.
And those who appreciate it often have that same appreciation for quality,
Yeah, yeah.
attention to detail. They value things being just so.
Okay.
And I think that can translate to, how they work, their personal style, even how they organize their home.
All right, right. It's like they see the beauty in the precision
Yes.
in achieving that perfect balance. But do you think that can ever be, like, too much?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Like, can it tip into over-perfectionism?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about personality traits, right?
Yeah.
They can be strengths or weaknesses.
Yeah, that's true.
It depends on how they're expressed.
Yeah.
So, yes, that drive for perfection can lead to exceptional results.
Absolutely.
But it can also, lead to overthinking, overanalyzing,
Right.
stress when things aren't perfect.
Yeah. It's all about finding that balance, I guess.
Finding that balance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It makes me wonder, do cappuccino drinkers stress about getting that perfect foam swirl at home?
Hmm.
Or are they Zen masters of the milk frother?
Good question. I don't know the answer to that.
All right. Let's move on to a personality that's a little more playful. The mocha enthusiast.
Okay. Yeah, the sweet tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They love that blend of coffee and chocolate.
Yes.
What's their vibe, do you think?
I think they're optimistic.
Okay.
I think they're playful, lighthearted. They'd like to bring a sense of fun to everything they do.
Yeah.
And their coffee is no exception.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not just looking for that caffeine fix.
Right.
They're looking for a treat.
A little moment of happiness.
Exactly.
And Shift Fuel gets it. They suggest adding, like, dark chocolate or peppermint syrup.
Full of fun.
Like, they're encouraging us to embrace that inner child
Love that.
and indulge in those simple pleasures.
Yeah. Sometimes a little indulgence is what we need, right?
Absolutely. All right, let's switch gears again. Let's talk about the power players, the espresso drinkers.
Okay.
What sets them apart?
Well, I think they're all about efficiency and intensity.
Yeah.
They want that concentrated burst of energy to power through their day.
Right, like no messing around.
Yeah, and they're not afraid of a strong, bold flavor.
Give me the caffeine, hold the chit-chat.
Exactly.
Right, so do you think that preference for that quick, powerful shot, does that reflect in their personality as a whole?
Often, yes.
Yeah.
They're often described as confident, driven, goal-oriented.
Okay.
They know what they want and they go after it with gusto.
So if you're feeling ambitious, ready to take on the world, maybe an espresso is the way to go.
Perhaps.
Now, for those who want a touch of elegance with their intensity, the article suggests a macchiato,
Oh, yes.
which is that shot of espresso with that delicate layer of foam.
Yeah, it's like the sophisticated cousin.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's move on to a coffee personality that's often associated with, like, fun and indulgence. The Frappuccino fans.
All right.
What do you think drives their choice?
I think it's the experience, right?
Yeah.
It's about those sweet flavors, the fun toppings, that playful vibe.
They're like a party in a cup.
Yes.
It makes you wonder, are they the life of the party everywhere else?
I think there's a good chance.
Yeah.
I mean, they're often spontaneous, outgoing, always up for a good time.
Okay.
They don't take themselves too seriously.
Right.
They know how to embrace the moment,
Yeah.
and they bring that energy to everything they do.
And Shift Fuel, they get that right. They suggest all these fun toppings like cookie crumbles or caramel drizzle.
Like, go for it. Make your masterpiece of deliciousness.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about the decaf drinkers.
Right.
Now, I know some people might be like, decaf, boring.
Right.
But I think there's more to it than that, don't you?
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's not just about avoiding caffeine.
Right.
It's a conscious choice, right?
Yes.
It often reflects, like, a desire for balance, for mindfulness.
Absolutely.
They're still enjoying the ritual, the flavor, the warmth,
Yes.
just without the extra buzz.
Exactly. They're in tune with their bodies.
Yeah.
And they're making choices that support their well-being.
It's about moderation.
Yes.
Moderation.
And Shift Fuel, they even cater to that with their Trapper Peak decaf blend.
Oh, nice.
They describe it as rich and smooth,
Perfect.
but you can still savor the flavor
Yeah.
without the jitters.
That's great.
It's like they understand that every coffee choice tells a story.
It does.
Whether it's about our personality or our lifestyle or our individual needs.
Yes. It's fascinating.
Makes you wonder, what does your coffee choice say about you?
Good question. Makes you think.
Well, it does. So is there any actual science behind these coffee personalities? Or is it just, just for fun?
Well, I mean, this article's definitely playful,
Yeah.
but there actually is a growing body of research that explores the link between our personality traits and our taste preferences.
Golly.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So there was this study in 2020. It was published in the journal Appetite, and they found that people who score high in sensation seeking,
Okay.
so like they crave novelty, intense experiences.
Okay, yeah.
They tend to prefer bitter tastes, like black coffee, dark chocolate.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Like their taste buds are also looking for that rush, right?
Right.
Like they get from trying new things or pushing their limit.
That's so interesting.
And then on the flip side, people who are more sensitive to bitterness, they might naturally go for those sweeter, creamier options,
Makes sense.
like your lattes and your mochas,
Yeah.
because their taste buds are seeking that comfort and familiarity.
Wow. So maybe our coffee choices, they're not just random. They could actually be reflecting like something deeper about us.
Right. Like a subconscious form of self-expression.
It's kind of like we're telling the world who we are through our coffee order.
Right?
That's so cool. Have you ever like noticed any patterns in your own life?
Ooh, interesting.
Do you find yourself drawn to people who share your coffee style?
You know, I haven't thought about it consciously, but now that you mention it, a lot of my close friends are latte lovers.
Uh-huh.
And they're also some of the kindest, most empathetic people I know.
Right.
So maybe there is something to that, that shared preference for comfort and connection.
It's like you're subconsciously seeking out people who are on your coffee wavelength.
Right.
Imagine if, like, instead of asking, what's your sign?
Yeah.
On a first date,
Right.
you ask, what's your go-to coffee order?
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Right. That would make things interesting.
It would. It would.
Okay, so we've talked about all these different coffee personalities, but what about those who switch it up?
Oh, good question.
Right. Like Monday it's cappuccino, Tuesday it's cold brew, Friday they're having a mocha.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does that say about them?
That's a great question. I think it suggests a certain adaptability,
Okay.
right? Willingness to experiment.
Yeah.
They like variety.
Okay.
They're open to trying new things.
So they're not like boxed in by one label.
Exactly.
Okay.
Their coffee choices are reflecting all those different facets of their personality.
Yeah. It's like they're embracing the full spectrum of the coffee rainbow.
I like that.
Right. They're not afraid to like step outside of their comfort zone
Right.
and see what's out there.
Yeah. And I think that's a good reminder for all of us. It's easy to get stuck in these labels, but the truth is we're all way more complex than that.
Right. So we're not just black coffee people. We're latte people. We're constantly evolving, and our coffee choices are probably evolving with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just crave something different, regardless of our usual go-to, right?
Yeah.
So the key is to just be open to trying new things.
Yeah.
See what feels right in the moment.
I love that. So, like, if you're a diehard espresso drinker, don't be afraid to try that caramel macchiato next time.
Yeah.
If you're a latte lover, venture into the world of cold brew.
Absolutely.
See what you discover.
Embrace that adventure.
Exactly. This is so fun.
It is.
It's like we've unlocked the secret code of coffee personalities.
I know.
But before we get too carried away, let's bring it back to the article.
Right.
What were some of the other key takeaways that stood out to you?
Well, aside from the personality descriptions, I liked how they emphasized coffee as a reflection of our lifestyles.
Ooh, interesting. Like how...
Well, they talked about how our coffee choices can be a window into, how we approach our day, how we manage our time,
Okay.
and what kind of comfort or stimulation we're seeking.
Right.
So, for example, someone who is always on the go, always needs a quick energy boost, they might reach for an espresso, right?
Yes, sense.
Or a cold brew. But someone who values like those slow mornings, cozy rituals, they might go for a latte or a cappuccino.
And the health-conscious folks might choose decaf.
Right.
Or like plant-based milk alternatives.
Yeah.
It's like every little detail tells a story.
It really does. And it's a good reminder that even those everyday choices can have so much meaning and intention behind them.
Yeah. Okay, so to kind of recap this part of our deep dive, it sounds like there's more to our coffee choices than we think.
Absolutely. It's less about finding the right coffee personality
Right.
and more about using this whole thing as a way to reflect, to explore.
Yeah.
What does your coffee choice say about you?
Such a good question. Now, before we move on, I just want to give a quick shout out to Shift Fuel Coffee for inspiring this whole conversation.
Yeah.
Their article was a really fun read, and I'm putting their Bitterroot French roast on my list to try.
Me too, me too.
Yeah.
They have a really great selection of blends for any personality.
So what else did you want to share from the article? One thing that really stuck with me was how they talked about coffee as a ritual.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not just about, getting that caffeine.
Right.
It's the whole experience.
Taking that pause, right.
Yeah.
Savoring that aroma, the warmth, the flavor.
Yeah.
It's mindfulness, right?
Right.
In the middle of your busy day.
Exactly. And they even suggested like pairing your coffee with certain treats to like enhance that.
Oh, right.
Like they recommended biscotti for cappuccino lovers.
Yes, I remember that.
So chic.
Very elegant, yeah.
And it made me think like those little pro tips throughout the article, they were encouraging us to be more intentional. Like don't just settle for the same old, same old.
Exactly, yeah.
Elevate your coffee game.
Experiment, yeah.
And it made me think too, like our coffee rituals, they probably change, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Depending on our mood, the situation.
Totally. Like, maybe when you're working, it's a solo cup of black coffee for focus.
Right, right.
But on the weekends, you break out the French press for brunch with friends.
Yeah.
Or maybe, it's a giant iced latte to power through your errands.
Yeah, it's about adapting.
It is, yeah.
Finding what works for you in that moment.
Exactly, exactly. So, coffee's not just a beverage.
Yeah.
It's like a companion.
Yeah. It's our trusty sidekick.
It is, it is.
All right, as we wrap up, I want to circle back to that big question. If your coffee choice could reveal something about your personality, what would your next cup say?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think mine would be a blend of like curiosity and contemplation,
Yeah.
maybe a cortado,
Ooh, nice.
with that balance of espresso and steamed milk.
I like that, the cortado for the curious mind.
Yeah.
I'm feeling kind of adventurous today, so maybe I'll go for a cold brew with a splash of vanilla.
Oh, nice.
Who knows? Maybe it'll unlock something new.
Right. You never know.
Exactly. And that's what's so fun about this, right?
It is, it is.
It's just embracing that playful side of coffee,
Yes.
using it as a way to learn a little bit more about ourselves.
Yeah. So as you're, having your next cup, just take a moment,
Yeah.
appreciate the ritual, the flavors,
Yeah.
and how it reflects, who you are.
I love that. So beautifully said. Maybe we should all experiment, try some different coffee style.
Yeah, why not?
See what we discover about ourselves.
I agree. Until next time, happy caffeinating.
Thanks for joining us.